Samsung's Galaxy devices, for the most part, barring the Google Play editions of course, do not run just stock Android. The Galaxy Note 3 is no exception here. Samsung's added their own custom user interface, a layer on top of Android called TouchWiz. While TouchWiz does bring a ton of functionality, a lot of features to the Galaxy Note 3, it can make things a little confusing as well. So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at the software on the Galaxy Note 3. This is everything you need to know about the software on the Galaxy Note 3. Tips, tricks, hidden features, and even a bit of basics. So before we get started, if this is your first time here or if you've just plain old forgotten, this is Ash here and you're watching C4E Tech. The Galaxy Note 3 has a beautiful 5.7-inch 1080p display. So you think this makes it impossible to use this device single-handed, right? Well, think again. You can just do this and the display actually shrinks. So now if you can use it with one hand, everything works just the way it should. You can run any apps you want. So say for example, I go into the Play Store. This works from almost anywhere. So we're back. So now again, there you go, searching for something. Say Sudoku free. I've installed it. I'm back. You can do this with either side. So say for example, I'm holding it with my left hand. There you go. And you can move it around. And if you think your fingers are too big and this just doesn't work for you, alright, you can make it a little bigger. You want to shrink it down, shrink it again. So it's pretty intelligent. So there you see the buttons on top. When you move it to the left, they automatically shift. You can even control the volume from here so that you don't have to go hunting for the volume rocker. The back key, the home, and the menu keys are all available. So to get this feature to work, just go into settings, one-handed operations from the controls tab, and make sure that use for all screens is checked. So now that we are in the one-handed operation, let's quickly go through it. Keypad and in-call buttons, Samsung Touch, Samsung keyboard, calculator, unlock pattern. Alright, what are these? So now if you're in the keypad, so this is it for one-handed operation. Left or right, the keyboard is shrunk. The same thing goes with the unlock screen and with the keyboard. So guys, also note that the capacitive keys can now detect the S Pen, so menu and back you can use it with the S Pen itself. And another thing is, once you see the S Pen detected, these keys get deactivated, so you're not going to hit it. Say your palm is resting on screen for something. If the S Pen is detected, you're not going to hit back or menu accidentally. I'm sure you know that the Galaxy Note 3 has a micro USB 3.0 port. In case you didn't know, this is also reverse compatible with micro USB 2. That is your regular charge cables. These ones, you can still plug that in for data connection or for charging the device. It might charge a little slower, but it will work. Alright, it might transfer data a little slower as well, but it will work. Alright, talking about the micro USB port, you might have heard the terms USB OTG and USB host thrown around. What does that actually mean for you? What it means is you can buy these kind of cables. These cost you around $1. They are available from Amazon.com. I'll leave links right below the like button in the description. What you can do is you can just plug them in and you can connect a flash drive. Alright, so you can see USB mass storage connected and the My Files app opens up. Just tap all. That is USB drive A, and this is the USB drive that's in. Apart from this, you can even plug in a wireless receiver and use a mouse or keyboard with the Galaxy Note 3. You might have also heard that the micro USB port on the Note 3 is MHL enabled. MHL cables like this are what you use to mirror your phone's display onto big screen TVs. Okay, a lot of phones have this. What's so special? The Note 3 uses MHL version 2. Generally with MHL adapters, you need to plug in a micro USB cable as well, which is connected to either a USB port or a wall adapter for power. With MHL version 2, you do not need any external power. It is just one adapter that you're going to use. Plug it into the micro USB port, plug an HDMI cable into the other end. hook it up to a big screen TV, and your Note 3's display is now mirrored. You get different types of screen locks. By default, you have swipe, which is no security. You also get a signature unlock apart from the regular pattern, PIN, password. With a signature unlock, you can literally sign into your phone. You can set it up by going into Settings, Device, Lock Screen, Screen Lock. If you have an existing PIN, just enter it and choose Signature Unlock. Talking about the lock screen, you see that I have C4E Tech over there. How do you edit it? Alright, you can enable or disable a personal message from here, and you can just go in and edit the personal information there. I've got C4E Tech. You can set whatever you want. You can change the font, you can change the colors, choose whether you want time and date displayed. You can do that from here. You get two different effects. One is the watercolor effect, the other is the ripple effect. So this is what you get by default, the watercolor effect, and this is the ripple effect. And you can also enable the ink effect over here. So how that works is, with the S Pen, you can see the ink bleeding. You can just change it to whatever color you want. This is available only with the ripple effect. So you can also have enable action memo on lock screen. The help text is nothing but this swipe screen or say wake up command. You can enable or disable this. Press the button, double tap, and your action memo opens up. So this can be enabled on the lock screen, again from the same lock screen menu. You can also enable multiple widgets. So you can add other widgets. This is a regular Jelly Bean feature, 4.2 feature. To the right, you get a set of your featured apps. So you can change it. You can just tap and hold something. You can actually hit edit and delete something that you don't want, and you can add a different app to fill up that slot instead. So Asphalt 8. Alright, so this is when you swipe to the right from the lock screen, you access this. But just like with stock Android, if you wanted to launch the camera while swiping to the right, just go into multiple widgets, favorite apps or camera, and select camera, hit save. Now from the lock screen, just swipe to the right and it launches the camera. Enabling the shortcuts option over here gives you 5 shortcuts on your lock screen. You can customize it. Just tap it, select something else. So say for example Google settings, calculator, and AnTuTu benchmark. So now in the lock screen you can see these below. So you just need to drag one of these and it opens up. These are the clock widget options, pretty self-explanatory. So wake up in lock command. Okay, when you first go and set it up, it downloads a bit. I'm just waiting for the download to finish now. So you can actually set different wake up commands. So say for example I want to launch launch the camera. So open camera, open camera, open camera, open camera. Alright, done. So now when you're in the lock screen, you can just say open camera, and the Note 3 launches the camera app. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's now talk a bit about the S Pen. The S Pen Keeper. This is a feature that we saw on the Galaxy Note 2. You turn this on, you leave your S Pen and you walk away with the device. The phone vibrates and this alert message is displayed. The pointer is just this little pointer that you see. So you turn it off, you don't see it anymore. Turn it on. That's pretty much it. Alright, direct pen input. Let's get to that. Let's go into the Messages app. So over here, just hover on top. You see a little icon. Tap it. That enables handwriting recognition. The handwriting recognition on the Note 3 is amazing. Let me just show you. Now, I was just scribbling like crazy. It still managed to detect it. So now if you want to delete something, that's it. And you can do a lot more as well. So just to show you, going into direct pen input, gesture guide. So this is what you can do. You can autocorrect stuff, delete it in one of these three ways. Again, one single character delete, insert stuff, and delete a space. So that's that. Next up, pen detachment options. By default, when you take the pen out, it gives you the air command wheel, just like you saw. If that is something that annoys you, you don't want that, you can change it here. You can change it to either open up an action memo or do nothing. And then you have pen attached to that sound, pretty self-explanatory. The air commands part, I pretty much talked about it in my full review, so I'm just gonna play the clip right now. You say when you pull the S Pen out, or if you just press the button on the S Pen while hovering on screen, a little circle pops up with a few options. Action memo kinda deciphers your handwriting and lets you do various stuff. Say if you take down a number, you can call it, or you can add it to contacts and so on. And then you have Scrapbooker. With Scrapbooker, you can just select anything on screen and have it saved to your scrapbook. Scrapbooker, while not just saving the image, actually saves a hyperlink as well. Next we have ScreenWrite. ScreenWrite basically grabs a screenshot of your screen and lets you add handwritten notes on it. And now S-Finder. S-Finder is basically search. It pulls up everything on your phone first, using file names, location tags and more. So right now when I search for Note 3, it shows me the Google search on Chrome, my emails with Note 3 on it, and then the scrapbook entry that we just made. Finally, we have Pen Window. Using Pen Window, you can specify a size, and as per the size you select, a window pops up. From here, you can select from a list of apps. Once you're done with the app, you can either close it or minimize it, and it remains floating on screen, similar to the chat heads with Facebook Messenger. A few of these can be launched even without going into this wheel. Alright, so say for example Action Memo. You can launch Action Memo by pressing and holding this button and double tapping on screen. There you go. S-Finder, you can launch it by pressing and holding the menu button. You can also add to your scrapbook by pressing and holding this button and quickly selecting something. You can get to ScreenWrite by tapping and holding this button and tapping the S Pen on screen and holding it. There you go. Barring 3 instances, no matter where you are, the R command wheel pops up. What are these 3 instances? First, when you're in the Messages app, near the attachments, now hit the button. Instead of the R command wheel popping up, you get your recent pictures. So if you want to add an attachment over here, you can add it this way. This also works from the email app. Again, right next to the recipient, just hit this button and it shows you your frequently used contacts. And then in the gallery, when you're hovering over a picture, hitting this button gives you options instead of the R command wheel. So guys, talking about the gallery, over here by default you get multiple panes. So you can just swipe to hide it or swipe again to bring it up. So this way you can easily jump between various albums. You can also sort the photos you have via albums, time, location, people, favorites and all. And you can pinch to zoom in or zoom out. So that's that. You can also quickly jump into the camera by tapping this icon here. And under settings you can select content to display and add in your Facebook, Dropbox or Picasa content. So this is what I have in Picasa. So in contacts you can swipe right to call someone, swipe left to message. The same is applicable from the Messages app as well. And you can just slide over here to jump between letters. To get more control, just swipe to the left and you get more granular control. Press and hold the home button. It gives you a list of recently used apps. This is your task manager. So you can see what apps are active from here. End it. You also get the RAM usage and the CPU usage of the respective apps. You can go to download it and uninstall apps. Go to RAM, clear memory. You can switch between launchers this way. If you have a custom launcher installed, it would be over here. So clearing it and then home will give you options between different launchers. So TouchWiz Home always. That's it. Okay, so now we've seen what pressing and holding the menu, back and home keys does, right? But what about Google Now? Alright, how does Google Now work on Nexus devices? You press and hold the home button and swipe up. So let's do the same. And that's Google Now. What you're actually doing is just pressing and holding it and then selecting it. But if you're used to stock Android, it still works pretty much the same way. Guys, when I started shooting this video, I did not expect to make it a two-parter, but we are really out of time and I'm forced to split this video into two. So click on the link that's annotated on the screen right now. That will take you to the second part of this video. I will also leave a link to the second part right below the like button in the description. But before you go, make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. So I guess that's pretty much it for this part, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. Bye bye now.